Brad,
we had 2 drafts ago.
No, this is the last one for real. There's no time left. We're going to do one, and then it's a keto time for me. So, Brad, what are you hoping we open? What? Not specific cards. What archetype are you hoping we go with?
So, I would like to actually do red, white, aggro. That was my favorite to play. It seemed to be the best.
So you think just aggro variants, monocolor or close. Now, the white one we went to one with I liked a lot. The red, white ones I did. I liked the blue one we had last time, the blue affinity one. It just
pretty good.
We just hit a roadblock against a really good control
those
deck.
Cards that make the 2/2s, there seem to be 2 of them. There's one that makes 2/2s for tap.
That one's much more powerful. The one that has
and then
5...
the ones pay 5 and make a mirror that's a 1/1, and all mirrors get +1/+1.
Yeah, that one is a little bit more...
Those
beatable.
Are basically unstoppable, though. If you get them rolling, if you get the mana.
Yeah, but the 5 mana one, you have to invest mana into. Like, at least it's moderately fair.
At least it's fair.
The other one,
just tap.
It's free, and it's whenever an artifact dies. So you
it
can
untaps normally too, right?
Yeah, it untaps during your untap tap step, and it untaps whenever an artifact dies. So you can very quickly
overrun the board.
You can take 2 of your creatures and block a 4/4, and it's a 1/1.
Yeah.
And you'll have 4 power and toughness the next turn you untap.
Well, and you didn't spend a card to do this. That artifact is
That's correct. You continue
it's
to make
a 1/1 on creatures, and you didn't spend a card.
Summoning Station is
They're
probably
both stupid powerful. Like,
now, the 5 mana one, at least you're spending 5. Like, you're spending 5 for a 2/2.
It feels fair until you realize that, I mean, once you have it down, you just win by spending 5 every turn. Like, there's very few things that kill you.
Yeah, it's an indestructible. You could be killed with flying. Our opponent happened to have some good reach and removal. They had enough removal. If they didn't have 3 pieces of unconditional artifact removal, they probably would not have won.
They would have lost, but they did win on that artifact. Like, they didn't have...
Yeah, but in all fairness, they did put in, like, what, 100 mana or something, almost?
Oh, well, yeah.
Over time. Like,
they did.
Imagine there's a control deck, and they're running Helix Pinnacle, which says if you have 100 counters on it, and each counter costs 1 mana, you win the game. If somebody spent 100 mana over the course of a game on a card, do you think it would be unfair for them to win? Like, you should... Winning because...
does not lock, does it?
I don't know. So spending a lot of mana over the course of a game to win, I think is fine. I don't think that the 5-bird...
The fact that it can just pump out creatures and creatures...
Now, that they block is nice, that you're paying 5 to chump block over and over, or gain an advantage, but if you can't stabilize the board, you're still going to die.
But almost... If you can pump out a 2/2 every turn, you almost always stabilize the board. The only thing that could happen is flyers overwhelm you, right? Or we drop more than 1 creature per turn that doesn't die to a 2/2. I mean...
You need bigger creatures, and then one of the trickier parts, too, about this set is that the creatures are smaller.
Let's not forget that 5 mana, you might have 10 mana. I mean, they eventually did.
They did, but...
So at 10 mana, like, 2 creatures per turn is basically unstoppable.
I mean, at 10 mana, you can play Ulamog, and you're also basically unstoppable.
I've lost with doing that. But
well, but what I'm saying is, like, I'm sure plenty of people lose with an army of 2/2s dying to the air, or a burn spell, or a fireball.
Yeah, so if we can draft either one of those cards, we'll probably just win. I mean, we nearly won with a Warhammer.
It's true. And we did win a game because of the Warhammer specifically.
And we won several games because of just building a deck with Skull Clamp.
Well... The thing about it is, I prefer to play leaner strategies, especially in this point. The stabilizing bombs...
One of those cards comes up, we'll take it, right?
Well, yeah, we'll take it, but we have to have a deck built around it, especially for the 5 mana one. And it's not bad. I would still run it, because...
Yeah, I would run it no matter what.
But if you don't have a deck built around it, it's not as inevitable. If you don't have the ability to gum up the ground and the air and destroy important artifacts, then you can lose to one of many things.
That's true. But I think we... never passed any of those things, and we haven't had the chance to draft one.
We passed up artifact removal last time. Okay. And we may or may not this time. There's a Shatter, and there's a Viridian Shaman.
I think Shatter is better.
Shatter is not a better card than Viridian Shaman. What we're saying is, do we think that we'd rather be red than green?
Red is better. I think it's better because of that.
Okay, so you'd rather just be in red and take the red, yes?
Yeah, I'd rather just take the red. Now, what do you think?
I think it's tricky. Red is a higher draftable color, so we're more likely to be cut off from red. But I would not mind splashing for a Viridian Shaman or a Shatter. If we get any red picks, the payoff for Shatter is higher. It's a higher risk, higher reward strategy. If we get past a good red card, I'll be happy to run it. We're more likely to be in green than red, but either of these cards are fine to play late. the 2/2 body is relevant, but being an instant is relevant, as you know. Plenty of text.
So they're both fine. I would rather be in red, so I think we should take the red.
I've got Alex Easy saying Reaver Demon, which is obviously a joke.
Yes.
Well, he's just unplayably bad. Alright, so let's go ahead and take our Shatter.
Add your picks.
And we are rewarded.
So, Spike Shot Goblin or Bone Splinter. I think we should cut the red.
Yeah, you're right.
But I really hope we get a good Bone Splinter. Or
the good news about Spike Shot Goblin is it plays well with any equipment. Now, Bone Splinter plays well with any creatures. But there's another equipment here. There's a Great Furnace. There's a Soldier. So we can look to pick up. This is a powerful pack. And we talked about earlier, the variance is... Alex Easy is thinking that the... everyone is saying that the Shaman's better than the Shatter because of the body. And there is a lot to be said for the body, but I think I'd just rather be in red that much more than I'd rather be in green.
Yeah.
But we could definitely be wrong.
We could be.
I think that the body on a 2/2 for 3 is a much better card, but I also think that we could try Nuisance Engine, Viridian Joiner. It looks like
so I like Silvermere better than all that.
Sure, we can take Silvermere. Simple.
Was Banshee's Blade worth playing?
No.
Not really,
so,
no.
The idea that a 2/2 for 3 that destroys an artifact is just a better card than Shatter. Like, those two cards on the comparison.
But I don't like being in green.
Brad is on the position that red is so much better than green that he would rather be in green that much more.
Clan Shaman's probably the best one, right?
If we don't plan to go for artifacts, we could take the Sky Hunter, couple move on that, but the Cart Clan Shaman's also powerful. I'm fine with either.
I think Shaman, and then we probably want to try to take some artifact lands.
Well, we could take the artifact lands and wait for the other Shaman to come around. There was one in the heavy red pack.
Shaman shouldn't come back around, but
the artifact
lands shouldn't either. So really, whatever you want to.
Well, I'd rather take the artifact lands here. There's more payoffs, and there's probably more Shamans than artifact lands. All right, I'm happy taking the Tooth here.
Tooth's pretty good.
All right, so red is very open. We're going to go ahead and take our Tog.
Yep, a Tog is probably better than the Shaman.
Right, and that's the reason I'm taking the Tree of Tales, is it's going to play better with more artifact-oriented cards. All right, is Spellweaver Hebo...
There's another Tooth.
There's no. Is there anything else to take? And the answer is no.
Nope. This is a weird pack. We don't have...
So everyone's avoiding the color... I do not think Cart Clan Shaman is unplayable.
No, Cart Clan Shaman is really good. I've wiped several boards with that card.
Well, you need the equipment to go with it. The fact that
we don't have the equipment is sad, but we got 2 more packs to get.
We have 2 teeth as well. 1 drops trade with a lot of the other 1 drops here, and if you have ways to power them up, they can be powerful. 1/1s with abilities.
Yeah, the secret to the Shaman is wait till you have multiple artifacts and just respond to your own trigger by sacking more things and wipe their board with it. We've definitely done a lot of work with the Shaman in the past.
I've been happy with it. It plays well in a variety of different kinds of setups.
We usually don't take more than 1.
I'm happy having 2. I would be okay.
Haven't had more than 1. Let's see.
So for me, it's
Blinding Beam is the most powerful card. The Nuisance Engine would be fun to play, but it's not the best.
We can also take Disciple Evolved. It plays well with the Tog. Blinding Beam is a more powerful card than Disciple Evolved by itself, but the synergy between the artifact sacrifice abilities can be powerful as well.
So the Nuisance Engine makes artifact creatures that we can sack to the Tog, but that's not something we wanted to do.
So would you rather go with...
Yeah, I'd rather have Blinding Beam. I like the Condor, but it's not very good. So.
Charlie the Banana is saying it doesn't check its power.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not exactly sure we're going... Okay, so we can either take our Cart Clan Shaman and have our first one. This is probably the one we have. Or the Familiar, but I'm not sure if we'll be in blue. I'd rather have the Familiar if I knew we were going to be in blue. But I think I'd rather have a Shaman on its own. Okay. So, do we want to hedge on a black card or do we want to hedge on a ramp card? I think I'd rather hedge on a black card.
Doesn't matter. I'd rather not play either one of them.
Well,
I mean, the Scavenger's good, but I'd rather just stick to 2 colors.
Right, but we don't know if white is open or if black is open.
Probably not open.
Alright, so black is open. Let's go ahead and take our Disciple. We only saw 2 white cards that I would consider picking. Alright, I'm going to take a second Shaman.
It's a little sad. I don't like the second Shaman. So the Beetle's... Okay, it's not
The
great.
Beetle is worse if... Okay, I'm going to go ahead and reserve the Mind Servant. And the reason is, if we need a way to search up 1 mana cards, I'd rather search up the Servant than the Beetle. Because the Beetle only blocks wall once. And let's go ahead and put that in our sideboard. I guess we could have taken the wall. The wall's fine too. Alright, so let's
so now we need some good equipment. I would like some Affinity for Swamps cards as well, and some Affinity for Mountains cards.
Alright, so I've decided...
Is Ether Vial worth anything?
I can check.
Ether Vial is actually the second most expensive card in the set.
Okay. Well...
if we weren't going to take Ether Vial, we would take Echoing Ruin, I imagine.
No, we'd probably just take Pristine Angel and Force White as our second color. But I'm going to go ahead and take my Ether Vial.
Yeah, I mean, that is half the cost of the draft.
Right, so this is a value pick. We think that any one of these cards will have less impact than a card that provides half of the draft cost.
Yep.
But this is a powerful pack.
It's a really good pack.
Ignoring Aether Vial, which actually is playable. Echoing Ruin, in order. Pristine Angel, Echoing Ruin, Leonine Battle Mage, Oxidia Golem, and then I look probably like Whisper Silk Cloak.
I like Whisper Silk Cloak. It is a bit slow, but it does win. The Worker I'm okay with playing. Now
we take
I like the Arcbound Slith, but I like the Echoing Ruin better.
Yeah, we're going to take our Echoing Ruin.
2 Echoing Ruins in a row.
And then we're going to get our Arcbound Slith.
Someone would have got... if we wouldn't have gotten the money card, we would have gotten super lucky.
So our opponent, our person to the right, feels like they're being fed red on that one card, but you can't make a decision off of just one pick. Like, we could have picked a better red card.
Yeah, I mean...
Alright, so we've got Sure Strike Trident, which I don't mind. You can unequip it. It lets you do damage over time. It doesn't increase power, so I'm not too big on it. Darksteel Citadel, which I like quite a bit. We don't have a defined second color, so we could take Veldican Engineer or Spire Golem. So for me, it's either the Darksteel Citadel, the Engineer, or the Golem. I think I'd rather have the Engineer or the Citadel. We could also take Carry Away, but I don't think double blue is very tenable. So do we want to have...
whatever you want. We don't have an awful lot of artifacts, so it might make more sense to go with the land, even though that's not very good with artifacts either. I like the Reclaimer. I like the Lancer.
You like the better
I like the
land?
Worker.
Okay. Let's go ahead and take the Reclaimer.
Yeah, we need to get more modular creatures.
Alright.
Spellbinder I don't think is worth anything.
We can either take another Darksteel Citadel or our Essence Drain here. Now, Essence Drain is nice because we can play a more controlling route, and we don't necessarily need to have all of these colorless sources. We already have 2 artifact lands, may or may not come. But the Essence Drain could be a nice secondary color, and it does kill almost any creature. So I think the Essence Drain is where we want to be.
Probably. The creatures seem to have dried up, but maybe it's just this pack.
It's just the packs. There's not a way to get rid of the
there's
creatures.
their Affinity for Mountains guy. I think that's what we want.
Over the Grimclaw Bats?
I'm not actually very high on the Grimclaw
It's okay. Would you play a 2-mana 2/1 or 1/1? We play the Spectral guy pretty often.
Yeah, he has a really relevant ability.
So he has a more relevant ability. Getting bigger is more relevant than regenerating an artifact.
Alright, yeah. I guess this puts us heavily in black-red, which is fine.
We can also take the Golem, but the Golem is usually a 4-mana 3/2.
We're pretty heavy red, but even a 3-mana 3/2 is not super awesome. There's the Affinity for Swamp Sky. That's probably the best.
Yep. Alright, so now I want to pick up some artifact lands.
Modular 3. It's too late for anything but...
We can take the Dross Golem
right?
or the Arcbound Bruiser. I'm fine with either of these picks.
Either one's fine. The modular guy I like better, I think.
The first modular guy.
There's the Affinity for Mountains guy.
Alright, so this is shaping up pretty well.
It's okay.
We've got a nice
we
curve
still
here,
don't have any good equipment, but we do have 2 Tooth.
which is nice, and we have 2 lands.
And if we manage to get another Citadel, I won't be sad.
Right, and we're in a position where we don't really need more. Let's go ahead and put our
It's fine.
Whisper Silk in the sideboard. I will run it as my first thing. It's good for breaking board stalls. It's good with a Tog.
Yep.
It's good with
We don't have very many 1 toughness creatures, so that's a little sad if we get the Miracle Pack in the last pack.
What's the Miracle Pack?
Oh, getting the maybe that's
this pack.
That's this pack. We already missed it. Okay.
Yeah, Skull Clamp's already gone.
Skull Clamp's already not a possibility. What's in the 3rd pack that I really like as far as equipment? I don't remember.
The equipment there's pretty bad other than the +1/+0 for each artifact you have.
Yeah. Oh, the Trample one I like, but we never get to play.
The Helm? The +1/+1 in Trample?
It is the helm. It's the other one of that cycle, basically.
The one I like. Let's go ahead and put that to sideboard. We're definitely not playing Crazed Goblins.
As much as I would love to.
It's just really unfortunate that Crazed Goblin isn't like a 2-1 or a 1-2. It doesn't have Burst Strike. It doesn't ping people.
Players skip their upkeep steps.
Ian Hub's not playable.
Yeah.
Alright, so we have Cranial Plating, which is going to be my pick.
Yeah, that's the best pick. By far. I like the Paradise Mantle, but...
Not for our deck.
Not for our deck, no.
For me, I think
I really like Ensouled Scimitar, too.
It's alright.
I hope it comes back around.
Probably won't. It's fine, but it's not great because the toughness boost is more defensive, and it can get in for a bit of damage. For me, if the Cranial Plating wasn't here, it would be Ensouled Scimitar, then probably Conjurer's Bauble just to make the deck faster than Horned Helm. But let's go ahead and take our Cranial Plating. That helps the deck out quite a bit, especially with the artifact lands. I'm sad we didn't pick up one more artifact land.
Yeah, I think we need a few more creatures. There's some okay creatures in this
no, deck. We have a backup of a couple of like kind of baddish cards, but I'd rather not run any of these.
I'd rather not run any of that either.
Drill Skimmer's close. It's 2-1 flyer. That's not the worst thing. If we picked up really, really good equipment, okay.
Artifact is put into a graveyard from battlefield. You may put a 1/1 counter on this guy.
I think we're going to take that.
That's okay. So reserve that, and then we'll look at the rest, because there is Reign of Rust, which is expensive, but it is a destroy target artifact.
Well, we already have 2 destroy artifact effects, 1 sorcery, 1 instant, and I think I'd just rather have more beaters. And this is the kind of threat that your opponent has to kill pretty quickly. We don't have a ton of artifacts, but it counts both sides. And I don't think Lantern of Insight's actually worth anything whatsoever.
Nah, I think it is in paper.
Yeah. So I think we take the Rigor, and
yeah, I hate to pass the Reign of Rust, but the Rigor's probably better.
We might not even run the Reign of Rust. Alright, so I'd like to take either... we could splash Trinket Mage, but we really don't have anything to
So I actually like Devour Shadow. I think we've got enough black mana sources we can do that.
Yeah, I don't really like Mer Servitor without equipment.
I really want to play the Servitor once, but it doesn't look like we're ever going to get to.
Well, you got to be in the right deck.
Wow, there's another one.
Sure.
Is any of this stuff any good?
No, let's go ahead and take the Servitor and bank
hope,
on it.
Hope something comes around. If we manage to get one in this pack, I'll be impressed. Because then that last one might come back around.
Well, if we get 3, they are good with the Tog. They are good with Cart Clan Shaman.
Yeah, you just have to keep one in play, right?
Yeah.
So once we draw all 3 of them.
And then, like, the Rigor plays well.
And we still don't have a decent equipment.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, we have the one. Opaline Bracer, is that worth it?
Let's check to make sure we don't have 1/1 counter themes. And
charge counter on a permanent you control.
Okay, so we've got Aether Vial.
Which can generate charge counters every turn.
Rigor, Arcbound Reclaimer, Arcbound Bruiser. I like Ion Storm, and the only other card I would consider playing
is the first strike guy.
Yeah, and that's not that great. So let's take the Ion Storm and hope that it works. Because it's a very, very powerful card. If we had a position to use that. Just think about
with the Aether Vial, it is... it is where we can build the Aether Vial every turn and then eat the counters off to lower it back down to tap and put a thing in at instant speed. That's pretty cool.
Yep, and even not being cool...
And it's to target creature or player, right?
Yep, and even not being cool, you can just do 2 damage a turn. Like, free shock, how does that sound?
2 mana shock for no cards? That sounds great.
So we're not playing any of these cards. So for me, I'm either taking Tank Lasp, or we could take Baton of Courage to play with Ion Storm, but I don't like that a ton.
So is Blind Creeper any good? I've never played with Blind Creeper.
No, it's not. How much is Condescend?
Oh, apparently nothing.
Alright, so I'd rather just not play against a Tangleasp. We're not playing the rest of these cards. Blind Creeper, if anyone plays 3 spells it dies, well, that's fine, actually. Against a slower deck, we can run that.
We've got a 2/2 for 4. We've got a Quadrupod.
We can take the Engineers, which is sacrifice 2 artifacts, destroy an artifact, which we have
actually,
lands.
the Flash Crafter is actually really good.
It is. We can take the Stealth Flute to get through things, but it just stops Shroud, so I'm not too big on that. So, yeah. We can take another 3-drop.
Whenever a player casts a spell, sacrifice a creature. Man, that's crazy. They used to be worth something, but not anymore. I don't think they were ever worth something online.
Okay, so for me, it's Rain of Rust or Desecration Elemental.
Man, whenever a player casts a spell, sacrifice a creature. I really don't think we'll ever be able to attack with that.
Why? You just have to have a couple dirtily creatures out and play it later. You just play it after their hand's empty.
Yeah, or Rain of Rust, either one.
Alright, I want to try the Desecration.
I want to try it because we'll never get to try it again. All these cards are not going in the deck. Even the Sunburst one's not worth playing in our deck.
Ian, hop to my sideboard.
Whatever. Right. 5/1.
So we've got a 3-mana 2/2. We've got a 4-mana 1/4. And we've got a 4-mana 5/1. Or we could run First Strike, but I don't think that's particularly relevant.
Well, First Strike is pretty cool when we have the 2 teeth, maybe? I don't know.
And we can move it instant speed with double red, but I think I'd rather have another creature.
It's actually cool on the Quadrupod, too, but we don't have a Quadrupod. I'd rather have the creature.
Alright, let's take our first Quadrupod.
I like the Baton of Courage. No, it's one-time use, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's not the one I was thinking of.
Right, well, let's not play against the
any of those. No, these are worth playing, so... What's the Sunburst guy do?
A bunch of stuff we don't care about.
Oh, okay.
Put that to sideboard. Okay, that's the sideboard.
Yeah, we got a Sparring Collar. I don't think we're ever going to play that or that, so...
Put that in our sideboard just in case we end up some spot where you have to Alpha Strike somebody and we need to play it with like a Whisper Silk Cloak.
So, that ended up pretty well. It looks like we've got 25 cards, so we just need a couple of cuts.
Yeah, I'm not particularly impressed with the deck, but it seems okay.
We actually don't have as many artifacts as I would like.
Okay, I think we can start Blind Creeper, because they have to play 3 spells to kill it. I mean, when have you seen someone play 3 spells?
Well, so if we play it early, it's not very good. And if we play it late...
No, it's -1/-1 until the turn.
Oh! Never mind. I read that completely wrong. That is wonderful.
Yeah. it's okay. I don't know if wonderful is the word I put, but it's fine.
So, there aren't that many combat tricks
in
this set. So, that's a really good cost to creature ratio there.
Yeah, and you can attack. The trick is, if they attack and they block with their 2/2, then it can die if you play something. But that's...
Alright, does Sparring Collar give +1/+0?
No, just gives First Strike, not playable.
Just gives First Strike. How sad.
So we have 1 good equipment and 2 teeth. Okay, so we need to decide if we're running Ion Storm. Alright, so these are creatures, these other cards. Now, I don't know if we need to start with Desecration Elemental. We could just board it in against slower decks, or we could start with it. It's a very strong card. Let's put these in the right spots. This is a 3.
Yeah.
That's a natural 5. So we have a lower curve. Desecration Elemental is powerful. We're running enough creatures that it's not terrible, but at the same time, it's never going to be great. But they do have to answer it. The problem is, you want to play it later after they've run out of a hand, and then they have to top deck.
So we probably want to cut 3 cards, and Shaman is probably the top of the cut list.
I think I'd rather start with the Desecration Elemental.
So I think the payoff for that is probably best.
We need to cut 1 creature and some amount of other stuff. Now let's count Ion Storm, because it has to be good. And I think that Aether Vial is fine enough in our deck with the number of 3s and 2s we have.
Yeah.
And we can eat it to 3 different cards. So it's not the world's worst.
No, it's not terrible.
But I think I'm only running the Aether Vial if I'm running the Ion Storm. So we've got
Pretty true.
1.
And we do need to cut 3 cards. So if we cut the Ion Storm, the Aether Vial, and the Shaman, or one of the Shaman, then that would be exactly right.
Cut all of this.
I'd rather keep the Essence Drain and cut the Shaman.
Like
the Shaman's not terrific enough, I don't think, to play 2 of.
We have 2 lands. Like, we want to see them fairly often. We want to see them. I'm just not sure. Like, Ion Storm is very powerful with the Aether Vial. And Aether Vial is fine by itself, but Ion Storm by itself doesn't seem great. That's the real problem I have here. So maybe we do just cut Aether Vial, Ion Storm, and then in the decks that are going to go longer, pull it in. We have a decent amount of removal right here.
We do have a decent amount of removal. Essence Drain, Devour Shadow, Echoing Ruin, and Shatter.
So we need to make, I think, let's go ahead and put these
We need to make one more cut, I think.
Let me double check.
Yeah, and I think it should be a Shaman because we don't have that many artifacts to sack to it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
And 2
11.
lands.
It's a good bit.
Well, yeah.
I like having more creatures with Desecration Elemental as well.
That's true. I mean, we could cut the Essence Drain, but it's so powerful.
It's a removal
It kills
spell.
almost every creature.
Yeah, we have one removal spell, unconditional, and a spike shot. We could have 3.
Yeah, and I mean, Echoing Ruin and Shatter will be unconditional for artifact creatures. So
Right, so we have a decent bit of removal. The Essence Drain can be nice, but...
yeah, if it wasn't for the amount of money that Aether Vial was, we would have another Echoing Ruin. That is amazing.
That's true. I don't
and
mind
my price is probably depressed right now.
I don't mind running Echoing the Aether Vial. It is another artifact and all that, but we could cut a creature. I'd actually rather cut a 4-drop than I'd cut a 1-drop. But, well, we're not particularly speedy, are we?
I mean, no, we don't have any equipment that just throws us over the top. That Spike Shot Goblin's gonna be fun.
Just 1 damage. Alright, so you like this.
Yeah, I like it that way. The 1 Shaman is usually enough. Anytime we've played it, we've wiped their board with it.
Well, no, it's more of the frequency of seeing the Shaman. 1 Shaman we won't see often. 2 Shamans we'll see every game, basically.
It's true.
So do we want to see a Shaman every game is really where it's at.
I don't think it matters that much. They're not that great.
Right, I just like it being...
How many modular creatures do we have? Do we only have the Reclaimer and the Bruiser?
Just the 2. They're fine. You don't need any more. The reason I like them is that we have 3 pieces of things to make it bigger, but it's only 3, so it's not a ton. We are a little bit slower.
So what exactly does the Lightning Collar do?
Lightning Collar just gives first strike.
Just first strike, and it's instant speed equip?
For red.
Red. Sparring Collar, not Lightning Collar.
If any of these gave power or toughness, I'd be more willing to play them, but they don't. So they're just not great.
Nope. Now, could we put 1 or 2 or 3 planes in and play the Blinding Beam? I don't think that's worth it.
Not with our affinity land creatures, because we have 1 of each of the affinity creatures, which makes me not want to splash other stuff. We don't have any Sunburst cards worth playing. If we had more Sunburst cards, Ion Storm would have been much more powerful.
Yep.
Alright, so basic
lands 10 and
definitely
5,
not right.
more like 8 and 7. Let's see, you might want to go down 1 more mountain.
8 and 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8 black sources. We have double black considerations and no double red.
We have a lot more black cards than red cards too.
We do. I'm happy with this. That said, I think that playable cards I'd be willing to pull in if they have a lot of weaker creatures. Obviously, the ogres if they're not playing a lot of stuff in general. But if I need more creatures, if I need more evasion, if I need more removal, I'll pull in Aether Vial and Ion Storm.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind that. And also, Aether Vial acts as a sort of removal, being able to flash in your creatures.
Yeah, we also have, 2 Fear guys? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's fine. It
I
just
like
makes...
Fear. It's not very good in the set, but...
Well, no one else is probably playing black creatures, so it does limit them to artifact blocks. But, yeah.
And we have the Shatter and the Echoing Ruin, which is...
We've got a good amount of 2-mana removal spells and the Cranial Plating, which is another reason I want to run more artifacts, because we're only running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, which is a good bit. Cranial Plating usually give +2 or +3, and that's okay, without being great. I do like that we can move it at instant speed.
Yeah. I mean, that is always a consideration for blocking. I like Disciple of the Vault, even though he's probably not going to do too much damage. He makes people think.
He's good with the Tog. And it's whenever any artifact, not just an artifact, huge control.
Yeah.
So something like more damage from your Cart Clan Shamans, your Echoing Ruin, Shatter. There's a lot of ways.
The biggest thing I like about him is he's a very impactful 1-drop. Like, he might do something the entire game.
He is a...
instead of just being a 1/1.
He's a lightning 1-drop as well. I'm going to go ahead and submit.
Oh, yes. He does take damage pretty quickly.
All right, I'll be right back.
Alright, I guess I'll start by piling us. Find my drink here. Would you like to play first? We would like to play first. 3 lands, a creature we can play, and a tooth we can play. That is a keep. Not the fastest or slowest hand I've ever seen. Let's see. Alright, so we got a keepable hand, and we went first.
Alright, well, I definitely want to start with the rigor. This is interesting because most of the decks we've been playing have been like, if they've been aggressive, they've been monocolored or heavy artifact themed or synergy based. And this is really just
a normal deck.
A normal deck. It has a decent amount of colors in it. There's a little bit of synergy, but it's mostly just decent cards.
So this person like wandered away from their desk or something because
that's okay. So hopefully we're playing rigor into some artifacts. I might be moderately conservative with the rigor in some ways, but overall,
if I don't have anything better to do on turn 3, I'll just play.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not like people run a lot of combat tricks. It's a card that I would prioritize killing because it will grow quite large. Like, imagine how many normal games, if someone played this on turn 4, that how many artifacts are going to be dead. Mm-hmm. It also means you can make weird attacks. You can attack your 1/1s into their 2/2s, and they don't usually block. You can have 6.
Alright. We got a 4-drop. And nothing to play here?
Yep.
F6.
So it's probably rigor into quadrupod. Hopefully into bruiser, but if not, something like Tooth of Chesgora. Being willing to trade the quadrupod aggressively.
Yeah, there are very few things I could draw that are 2-drops that would play above the rigor. That 3/3 I'd probably play above the rigor if we draw it. I'm going to keep playing swamps.
It's fine. Hiding some information is fine.
It probably doesn't matter.
Usually there's not random discard, and that's
I don't think there are any random discards.
Go ahead and F6. They're just fetching.
Yeah, and they're doing it because he would get a counter otherwise.
Correct.
They're at least reading cards.
Go ahead and F6. Yep, the rigor does play well. There's a lot of artifacts that have kind of effects that we're basically trumping just by having it out in play. Next turn, we're going to play a land and attack, and then, well, I don't know. I guess
no point in attacking now.
No.
So I will go ahead and play this quadrupod and pass.
And so my next turn play would actually be to play the land and attack with the quadrupod.
I don't think I have anything to do. F6.
Because we can play the tooth and flash it in. We can make the quadrupod either a 5/1, a 1/5, or 4/2. Mm-hmm. No blocks. Alright, so play a land.
Definitely the land. So when it dies, he gains 3 life. I think we just attack with the quadrupod, right?
Yeah, because what you're going to do is play the Arcbound Bruiser, assuming he doesn't block. If he does block, I would trade the 2 and make a 3/3, and then play the and then play the.
So we should really just play the Bruiser first.
No. You should attack first, because you want to trade the quadrupod for the Lyriker.
Okay. No point in attacking with the 2/2.
No, hit cancel. You're trying to deactivate the ability.
Nope.
Hit okay.
And then F2?
Yeah, he's not going to block that. I wouldn't take that block.
So should we flip it?
No, because if he doesn't block, we're going to play the Bruiser. Okay, so go ahead and
Activate the ability?
No, use your tooth first because you have 3 mana. The tooth costs 2 mana.
Yeah.
And then you can play the
ability on the bruiser, right?
On the quadrupod and have a 3/3. Yeah, that sounds fine. And then quick on the quadrupod.
No, don't we need to flip its power and toughness and then add the thing?
It doesn't matter. It's going to die either way. Use the quadrupod now.
Oh, okay.
Because it's going to be a 4/1. It doesn't matter if it's a 4/1 or a 4/2, right?
Oh, well, then there's no reason in using the tooth then.
Because you can't cast it next turn. Because you don't have an artifact.
No, I mean, there's no need to use it. There was no reason to cast it.
Click on the abilities.
Oop.
You just click through and we'll have a 4/4.
F2, use the ability, yes. Okay, yes.
So now we have a 4/4.
That's pretty impressive.
Right, our opponent might have thought we were going to have a 3/3. We have a 4/4. And you go to an F6. And next turn we can...
So I wouldn't have attacked if I were them. Because that would have probably kept me from attacking.
Nope, I would have attacked. I'll trade my... I would try to take either of those trades. They can't block. And if they don't block, we're getting damage in and they don't. Okay, we are in trouble. They're just going to beat us to death.
Another flying guy.
Yeah.
So
we're going to attack for 4 and hit them for 5 because they're not going to block.
Yeah, we'll play the land first.
Go to combat.
Yep, that's our best bet. It looks like.
Go ahead and activate the tooth and hit for 5. You gotta wait until attackers are over. You wait for you have priority. Alright, and then we just go ahead. Now we can either play the Scavenger and get back the Quadrupod, but I think we just play the Bruiser and the Shaman. F2. One more time. Alright, go ahead and play our 2 creatures. Alright, and at any time, now you can no longer F6, because at any time you want, you can sacrifice artifacts to make him larger. So just F2, and just keep F2ing until,
Yeah, so this guy doesn't hit flyers. Not very good.
That's fine. It's fine, just keep going.
Okay, well that's a big pointless thing for them.
Protects their 5/4.
That's true. So currently we're winning the race, right?
They're going to keep the Spire Golem back.
We're
F2.
still winning the race though, right?
No, we don't get...
Now, because we can attack with the 3/3, because we can make it a 4/4, or the 4/4.
Yeah, we'll attack with both, I guess.
So we're still winning the race.
If they don't play anything. The good news is we have a... Oh, okay. No blocks.
No blocks. No blocks possible.
We can also Scavenger back next turn, which helps a lot. Unless we get an artifact to play first. Alright, let's go ahead and play our Reclaimer now.
That's what I would do.
We have a black and red open.
It actually represents more trick. No, it represents about equal tricks. Either way. Alright, so they have left us open to attack with everything. They left a counterspell up, though. Oh, okay. Well, that's dead. I don't know why it mattered that they killed it then.
They might have thought we had some sort of trick. Alright, now, basically we can't sacrifice the Cart Clan Shaman to make that a 5/5 and attack them for 9. Right, go ahead and activate the Tooth and hit them for 8. You attack first.
And I almost messed that up.
Alright. Now, we can use the Reclaimer's ability, but I don't think we should. We can put Mer Quadrupod on top of our deck, but I think we'd rather just play the Scavenger and get something back.
Now it comes into our hand. So if we don't draw anything, then that's reasonable.
What?
That
one goes to our hand. The Reclaimer goes on top of the library.
The Reclaimer.
Yeah, you can have 6.
Oh, you can do that for anything. Okay.
Or you can't have 6. You have to be able to use the Reclaimer's ability.
So we
are losing this race, aren't we?
We are losing this race because they attacked first.
Well, yeah, that means we're losing the race.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, so they have to play a creature right now.
I'm sure they will. Otherwise, they wouldn't have attacked.
They didn't play a creature. So they must have a trick.
Okay, go ahead and play the Oxidia Golem.
1, 2, 3,
4.
4.
Alright, and that's lethal, right?
It was lethal before, actually.
Alright, go ahead and attack with everything. And then they kill one creature. We have 3, 4, 5. We have... Okay, if they can kill our 4/4, then we're going to lose.
Yeah, we don't have any tricks, so...
Just F2.
No. We gotta put this on one of them.
Why? We have lethal. Oh yeah, I guess put on the 2/2.
Well, I guess this is lethal, so we didn't need to do that, did we?
Yeah, they had a bounce spell.
3, 6, 7, 8, 9. One shot.
Alright, F6. Yep, just go ahead and F6. Let's see what else they have.
Yeah, we can't cast anything, so. Oh well, we got there almost.
F6. We're gonna need the time because we might have 2 more matches. Let's go and swap real quick.
Again, sideboarding. Alright, so they have a lot of flyers, but I don't know if we can do anything about that.
No, that's fine. This would be a match where I wish we could get in Blinding Beam easily, but we can't. They had artifacts.
So we had outs, we just didn't draw them.
Yeah. Let's see if there's anything I like out of our sideboard. I don't particularly like the Drill Skimmer or anything. Those cards don't get big enough.
I mean, we were 1 attack away from killing them, so...
I don't think another 1-drop is good, so I think we're good where we're at. Are there any cards I don't like? The Quadrupod's not great, but I don't think we have anything better to pull in. I think I'd rather have the Quadrupod than the Drill Skimmer.
Yeah.
Because it's untargetable by everything that gets bigger. Let's run it back.
Yep.
And let's go ahead and start, because we're racing. And this is a keep.
Yep. We have a Disciple followed by a Tog or a Mirror.
Probably a mirror. So now I want to get a bunch of creatures out and push out an early Desecration Elemental and see if we can win off that. Now we could be in a bad spot because a bounce spell really wrecks us. Do we want to
I think
attack
we're going to
this?
play the Silver Mirror.
We attack with the Disciple? I think we attack with the
Yeah,
Disciple.
you attack. They're not going to block. Just like we're not going to block.
Alright, so the question is, do we play Desecration Elemental next turn if we get the opportunity?
No. And the reason is they have a modular creature, so they could block it long enough that we might have to sack everything. So just play the Flesh Grafter or the Golem if you can.
It costs 4.
It's 1 more. Yeah.
It
So
costs 4. So we can play the Tog or the Flesh Grafter.
probably the Flesh Grafter.
Think we should attack with our creatures?
I
I do. Let's do it.
Yeah. We don't care if our creatures die. I don't understand the Scry.
He's just running cheap artifacts. Maybe he has affinity cards or some such. This also makes our Desecration Elemental better, because he has less creatures. It's rougher on us than we're down a creature, but he's down a blocker.
Yeah. So if he doesn't play an artifact creature next turn, I think playing the elemental is the correct play.
I agree.
So just attack for 2.
Yeah, we can flash in the tooth or discard the tooth if we want to.
We're better off just playing the elemental, I think.
Yeah. Well, I said discard. Like, we can provide quite a bit of damage. Alright. Live big! So we can make this a 2-2. We're 4-4 just by discarding these cards. Like,
we can, but we don't. I don't think he's going to block. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Probably sack. I would have sacked the 2-2, but whatever.
Why? Eight, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. If we draw an artifact, we win the game.
You mean artifact land? Alright, so can we cast the Affinity for Mountains guy? I think we can.
We'll have to sacrifice a creature.
What is that? Whenever? Oh,
Now, we can hit him for 10, and the next time we
8,
play something...
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
So, here's what I think we do. We can hit him for... Well, we could hit him... No, we should hit him for 10 and put him to 5, or we can discard one of these cards and hit him for
So I say
12.
discard the tooth.
We can discard multiple ones, but he doesn't die. We can put him at 1.
Well, so if we discard the tooth, we can cast the golem and kill him, right? Even if he casts 2 spells next turn.
We have to sacrifice creatures every time we play a spell.
Okay, so I'm going to assume he's going to cast 2 spells next turn. So if you discard the tooth, you can cast the golem.
I'll just sacrifice the elemental if he plays 2
And
spells.
then next turn you can cast the golem and have 2 creatures in attack.
Yeah.
And kill him. So discard the tooth.
Instead of keeping it, it provides 1 less damage. Oh, well, I could just click through that.
Wow.
Wow.
Or we could just lose to that. Yeah, that's fine.
That's rough. Okay, so what... Yeah, golly. Okay, what you were saying is we discard this to get in 1 extra damage and be...
Getting 2 extra damage. It's +2/+2.
No, it's 1 extra damage because you can always use the tooth afterwards.
We can't cast the tooth right now, Daniel.
But if he didn't kill...
Alright, so it doesn't matter because all that's gone because you click through the turn. It really doesn't matter. If he can't cast 2 spells this turn, then I'll be greatly surprised.
Alright, so what is this? A 3-2?
So...
We just have to sacrifice the 8-8.
No. Sacrifice the 2-2 and hit him for 8.
Okay.
I mean, we would have won the other way.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't paying attention. Alright, so we're going to hit him for 8. And then next turn just try to unload our hand if he doesn't play a single spell.
If he doesn't play a single spell, then we get to keep the 8-8, so we just turn the 8-8 sideways.
Right. I mean,
If he does play a spell, we flash in the tooth at the end of the turn.
And then attack. Alright, so I was happy with the elemental, and if we didn't make that mistake, it would have been
Well, we'd have won.
good.
Alright, so flash in the tooth, and then play the golem next turn.
He can just bounce it.
What? Oh, we have to draw a land. Alright, so shatter that thing. Not now, it's an instant.
I'm going to shatter it and play my Atog.
Okay, that's reasonable.
This clicked really hurt my heart. Hurt my heart.
Yeah.
Alright, so next turn he has to block the Atog, and we attack with Oxidagal and the Atog.
Yeah.
And we can use the tooth on whatever he doesn't block, and then sacrifice the tooth to the Tog to make it a 3-4.
Yep.
Unless he blocks the Oxidagal, in which case we can trade the 2 and hit him for 2 and put him to 5.
Yeah.
That's an interesting play. Maybe he has...
Maybe he has nothing else to do.
That makes our play a little bit rougher. That's aggressive. I guess he has to realize he has to win the game at some point.
So I still like the golem because it forces him to trade that thing for a golem.
Okay.
And then we just hit him for 2. No, we hit him for 1.
If he blocks the Atog,
then he takes 3. And we sacrifice the tooth to the Atog.
I like the tooth with the spike shot. It hits for 2 a turn.
Let's see if he does that then. If he's smart, he'll do that, right? Maybe we just attack with the 3/2. Don't attack with the Atog.
I've got an idea.
Were you gonna sack the?
Yeah.
Wait, why?
And we'll pump here. This will be a 4/4. It'll kill its creature.
Okay.
We traded a creature for creature. It's not the best on that end, but now he has less defensive and offensive speed. And next turn we're going to play a Spike Shot and start using Tooth with Spike Shot.
Yeah, maybe we should have done that turn.
That was going to be my play, but I don't mind that one. And the payoff for him blocking the Golem's really high. Okay, so he's going to play a 5/4 next turn. And we're going to play a 3/2.
What is that? Oh, Lantern of Insight. Nice.
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine if you're playing affinity cards.
So, shouldn't we just play the Spike Shot instead of the Dross Golem?
Oh, we're going to. Because he can keep back Chemolocks and other stuff on defense. Alright, so let's go ahead and attack.
Yeah. And use the tooth. So you could also play the Quadrupod, because then he has to deal with Quadrupod.
Yeah, but we can use the Spike Shot Goblin to kill his creature and put him at a 5/4 that he can't use. Or to just shoot him. We can also use... Oh, well, this is interesting.
I knew he would do that.
That's fine. Because it saves us more mana.
That misclick really cost us a lot there.
Yeah. It was rough. Not drawing the land cost us, but our Spike Shot Goblin can kill their Sunbur Hoverguard. It's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they have enough to play it. They have to tap out for it, which is fine. And the next turn, this will cost 2, so we can shoot their 3/2 and play the Dross Golem, which will put us ahead in the race. Oh, they Barbed Lightning our creature.
Hmm.
Alright. So now I think we're going to be in a rough spot.
Yep, it was all misclick related.
Mm-hmm. Alright. So they're going to play their big creature and keep it back for block. Right.
And then we're going to be able to hit them for 4 and then die. Because all their things have flying, right?
4. Well, we can hit them for 3 for sure.
4, because we got the tooth. Is that a haste?
So we block with our 3/2 and use our tooth, right? They're giving us a lot of turns. I mean, they know we're drawing. They're not certainly getting ahead doing that.
So
We can do 2 damage and get in for 2.
well, so you don't want to cast that on that creature.
Why?
Because they have a 5/4 in their hand, and we know that. That's the only card in their hand.
Okay, if we cast the Devour Shadow on their other creature, we can't use it at all.
What do you mean?
We need to Devour and Shadow this, because next turn, if they play their 5/4 and hit us for 3, we can't Devour and Shadow anything. This is the only turn we can play that.
So why don't you just attack
and see if they block?
and see if they block?
Yeah.
And if they block, we just trade them. Or actually, we don't trade them. It's a terrible play for them. So, okay. So now you use the tooth and then sack the tooth.
Yeah, that's a weird play by them.
So now they have a 5/4
That we can.
that we just kill,
Yeah.
and we gain life, don't we?
No,
Oh, you lose life equal to that creature's toughness, so we'll go to 1 to do it.
that's fine.
That's rough.
We're answering their best threat. Let's see what they got. I mean, we died to a lot of things, but we would have died to most of those things. So they're just looking for any 1 damage spell or anything like that, which is fine. It's not like they have a ton of turns. We have an Atog out.
And yeah, play the quadrupod. Hope it gets there. And then attack for 1. If we win this game, we should have won it 16 turns ago.
Pretty much.
If we lose this game, it's because we didn't win it 16 turns ago.
Yeah. We lose to a lot of burn spells, which is what
We lose to a lot of stuff.
Well, not that much stuff. I mean, other than burn, what do we lose to? There's only...
Resolve flying creature.
We have Grimclaw of Spats.
Would buy us a turn. So eat it.
Sure.
And swing for 1. Yay!
I mean, they don't have any board pressure. A lot of the cards they could get could turn the game for them.
Yeah. I mean, they're scrying every turn, so if they've got burn, they'll find it.
There's not
Eventually.
that much burn. Okay, so Spire Golem's a real problem.
Alright, so just attack.
And then we'll have a 3/4 to block.
No, that won't work.
Yeah, so we just wait. We let them attack, we chump block. We hope to get something relevant. And we have lots of relevant cards.
Yep.
If I was them, I actually would not attack. Because they're scrying every turn. Oh, nope, we're just dead. They got their burn.
Well, that's it for us.
Yeah, rough. Misclicks, throwing us out. Alright guys, that's it for this block. We'll be back with Oath of the Gatewatch, probably Thursday or Friday, and hopefully we won't be clicking through attack phases that would win us the game.